In the past 24 hours, the RWA blockchain Mantra saw its Ohm token crash by around 90% in a matter of hours, wiping out $5.5 billion from the market cap. It was one of the fastest and most ferocious crashes in crypto's history, so let's get an inside look at what happened. And Ohm token holders, hang around until the end because there's some info you need. So the crash was as severe as Terra Luna's, and naturally there have been cries that this is a rug pull or a scam, and a big one. So on today's episode of the Chain Reaction for Cointelegraph, we had the CEO and co-founder of Mantra, John Patrick Mullin, on the show live to answer questions while everything was still on fire. This was right in the wake of the crash. What we now know needs two caveats. Firstly, there are still a lot of unknowns that the sleuths are working on, and secondly, the interview has far more detail, so I'll link to it in the description. So most importantly, John outright denied that any insider or investor tokens have been sold. This is despite all the screenshots doing the rounds of labelled wallets like the investor Laser Digital, moving $41 million worth of tokens to an exchange days before the crash. John said that simply the wallets had been mislabelled, and Laser Digital has now seemingly shared their wallets to prove this. What John believes actually caused the crash was forced cross-exchange liquidations as a result of people using Ohm token as collateral for loans. Then what made this worse is it happened on a Sunday night, which is a time of low liquidity, so the liquidations started rolling and then the panic sets in. John's statement before the show was highly critical of an unnamed centralised exchange, calling the forced liquidations reckless, and we can tell from his other comments that it wasn't Binance. As for the people behind these liquidated positions, ZachXBT posted two names that have allegedly been looking for massive collateralised loans against Ohm in the days before the crash. So we're still sifting through the wreckage, but this is where we're at. One thing I do want to add is that whatever your opinion on this situation is, it takes real substance to stand in the firing line of unknown questions from Gareth and I live to over 100,000 viewers, but John did. As for you Ohm token holders, we asked John how Mantra may look to mitigate your losses, and he told us this.
We're here to make sure that our community gets taken care of. We're going to put together as best as possible a plan of recovery that could include buybacks, it could include token burns, it could include a number of different initiatives that we're exploring. So we're willing to do whatever is possible to make sure that our community is supported here, and do what we can to reinstill trust